Please welcome the president of Comcast Spectacor, Peter Luco.
Wow. Wow. Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for coming. And I'd like to thank you all for coming. I'd like to thank the media. I'd like to thank our former players. It's just amazing. And legends who come here today. Our staff was here, but most importantly, I'd like to thank all you, the fans. Thank you all for coming. Thank you. And, you know, as we look back at the Spectrum, it's bricks and mortars, but it's the fans who made the Spectrum. It's the fans who created the memories and the family feeling that the Spectrum had. And if you look back at the Spectrum, we had many great moments. We had many, many great moments. We won Stanley Cups there, NBA championships. The greatest shot in the history of the NCAA basketball was at the Spectrum. The Grateful Dead were at the Spectrum 50 times. We all remember that funny smell out there in the Grateful Dead. And it was a fun place. And I think the memories are so fantastic, and the memories were created by these players. They created the memories, but the fans created the family and the family feeling. And many of you who I've talked to over the years, they discuss how maybe they had their first date at the Spectrum. The first time they had a date at the Spectrum. Maybe they went to the circus as a family for the first time at the Spectrum. Maybe a father took his son for the very first time to a Flyer or a Sixer game or a college basketball game. That was the Spectrum. And memories go on and on and on. And what we're here to do today is we're here to celebrate the memories of the Spectrum and how great a building that Spectrum really was. And it's important for all of us to have a good time today, enjoy ourselves, and reflect on how great the Spectrum was. And speaking of memories, the Spectrum had a couple voices. And there was very few of those voices, but one of the most important voices of our Spectrum was our longtime Flyer announcer, Gene Hart. Gene was that special memory and voice at the Spectrum. And today with us is Lauren Hart, who will sing God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you, Lauren. It's special. Our next guest, Michael Nutter, the mayor of Philadelphia.
Thank you. Lauren, thank you again very, very much. Big round of applause for Lauren. Peter, thank you for the introduction, and our great president of Comcast Spectacor. Please recognize not only Peter, but the incredible Ed Snyder for his commitment to Philadelphia, the Philadelphia region, and all things related to sports. Ed, thank you very, very much. You may recall just about a week or so ago, Ed and his Ed Snyder Youth Hockey Foundation made a commitment to the city of Philadelphia to enclose 3 of our 5 ice rinks so that we'll have year-round activity for young people and those who are young at heart. And they have just time and time again stepped up and really made things a lot better here in the city. I won't try to name all the players, but as Peter mentioned, there are a couple, certainly a number of really great folks up on the podium here today, but I just want to point out both Bob Clark and Bertie Perrant, who are here, and a number of flyers from many, many years ago. And hopefully my mom's not watching, but back in the mid-'70s, I'll now announce for the first time that there was a day that a bunch of buddies and I from the prep left school a little early. There was an incredible parade. We saw them on Market Street in the middle of the day, and we just left a little early that day from class to see that parade, and it was just incredible. So to all the flyers, thank you very, very much, and to and then in the early 80s, there was another parade, and I had an opportunity to participate in that one, working with the late Councilman at Large, John Anderson, and met Julius Irving, and want to recognize Dr. J for being here today. Thank you so very much. And the one, the only, world be free. Spectrum, as was mentioned, is a part of this city's history and always will be, no matter what. At the same time, this development project announced that we're going to experience now 250 new jobs, new full-time jobs in Philadelphia. This is about jobs, and more jobs here in our city. And we want to thank all the participants for helping to make this happen. This new facility will, of course, enhance the appeal of South Philadelphia's entertainment complex for residents and visitors year-round. And even on those few days of the year when there might not be any activity in these 3 buildings, there'll always be something going on at Philly Live. And let us just take a moment to kind of recognize what has happened here. Philadelphia is the only city in the United States of America that has baseball, football, hockey, and basketball all within less than a half mile of each other. The only city in America with that kind of offering in sports. For 43 years, the Spectrum has graced the city's skyline and been a part of our great history. And before closing its doors on October 31st, 2009, many of us have many, many memories of this great place. And whether as a kid going to the circus, going to see the Sixers or the Flyers, or on many occasions going with my father to see fights here at the Spectrum, Benny Briscoe, Bobby Boogaloo Watts, Willie the Worm Monroe, watching Muhammad Ali's return to the ring on the big screen after being away from the game for so long. Many of us have had so many exciting times right here at the Spectrum. And so this demolition is not really the end of an era, it's really the start of a new one for our great city. And we want to welcome Ed Snyder's development partners, Cordes Company, led by David Cordes. Please recognize him for his investment and his commitment to Philadelphia. And so whether our great teams are here at home or on the road, there will always be something to do right here in this great complex known as Philly Live, because Philly is live. And you're making it happen. Thanks to all the fans. Thank you all, Philadelphians, people in the region. This is another wonderful day for Philadelphia. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Mayor. This man is one of the 50 greatest players in NBA history. He won a championship here at the Spectrum and played 489 games at the Spectrum. But there's only one person that can introduce this man.
And at the forward, number 6, Julius Irving.
Folks, Julius Irving.